Welcome to the Small Business Buzz. I'm your host, attorney and entrepreneur, Kimberly Hanlon. Today, I'm talking about my new podcast format and letting you know how you can participate. Okay, everybody, get ready to send in your questions. And today we have Meir Ezra, multimillionaire entrepreneur and founder of Guaranteed Prosperity, here to give some really top-echelon advice for business owners. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Okay, up next is my interview with the very awesome Meir Ezra. Okay, today we have the most amazing business coach ever, a serial entrepreneur who is wildly successful, named Meir Ezra. Thank you so much for being here today, Meir.
Hey, hi. Thank you for having me.
So, where are you in the world today?
I'm in the lowest place on the planet. I'm in the Dead Sea in Israel. It's, I think, something like 4 o'clock or 4:30 in the morning. And it's beautiful. And yes, it's the lowest place in the universe. Oh, well, on this planet, not in the universe.
Well, thank you so much for getting up early and joining us today. We're just so lucky and blessed to have you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very, very, very happy to be with you.
Would you talk a little bit about your background, just so that people can get a sense of who you are and what you've done? And then I was thinking that we could talk about some of the really great wisdom that you have for business owners who really want to take their business to the next level. Okay.
So, me is me. It's really simple. But if you want to know a bit more, I'm an Israeli. I'm born in Israel. I went to the Israeli army. I was a diver in the submarines. It is a very special unit in Israel. We started 4,000 people. We ended up, after 2 years of a course, we ended up 21 people. I've been in the submarine for 6 years, done all kind of special things, and then went to the Far East and then into business. And as soon as I started business, I thought that business it's really simple. Because you just need to buy something, sell it a bit more expensive, and you make profit, and that's it. But as I expanded my businesses, I saw that despite the fact that it sounds simple, people have a lot of problems in regard to business. And the problem was around not what they know, not what they don't know, but all kind of weird ideas they used. And how do I define weird idea? Weird ideas is the ideas that when you use them, they don't bring you the expected result. So every time a person do not have an expected result, he is not dealing with true factual data. He's dealing with some nonsense data, but he believes that it's true. And that's where my business life more or less started, when I realized that people don't know. And it was quite a shock to me, because I was sure that people know. And I just need to find the right people, and they know, and that's it. And to my dismay, I realized people don't know. And the moment that I knew that they don't know, it becomes very easy, because from that moment forward, I just needed to train them. And once you train them and actually make sure that they know what they say they know, things become simple. So that's like very quick.
I've had you teaching me, and what you've done for me and my business has been phenomenal. And you're right. The weird and crazy data that everybody's following is really leading a lot of businesses and even nations on the wrong path. I know. One time we had a conversation about one of your goals right now is to bring a golden age of prosperity for business.
Yep, that's exactly our goal. We are. That's what we're doing. It's actually something that we're doing because we take big businesses and we guarantee their prosperity. And it's common that a business owner will start working with us and will triple the business in 6 months, or we have much bigger successes even than that. But it's common, 3 times the business, easy. Because we know what we do. So if you know, you can guarantee the result. Actually, I generally teach that a professional, someone that really knows what he's doing, have 3 characteristics. Number 1, he thinks things are simple. So if someone tells you that something is complex, you need to know that this guy doesn't know. The second thing is that he can predict the results. So if I'm a professional in what I'm doing and I'm a good business coach, I can predict the results. And the third is that a professional will be able to predict the time that it will take to bring those results. And if any one of those things are missing, you are not a professional. You're just a charlatan or bullshitter or whatever.
You know, I recently was talking to somebody who was supposedly a marketing expert. And as soon as she started talking, I knew that she didn't know what she was talking about because I was asking her questions and she kept on saying, well, it's really complicated.
Yeah, that's an indication that the person doesn't know for sure. If someone tells you, well, it's complicated, he doesn't know. That's why it looks to him complicated. And why do we hire a consultant or a professional? Because we don't know and we want them to tell us what to do. And if they think it's complex, thank you very much. I'll find someone that knows.
Yeah, because when you really, really know, it's you've mastered it and it's so simple and easy.
Yeah, actually, you find it hard to understand how everyone do not get it. Like, it's so simple. Yeah, it's so this is something that I'm using heavily, and it's a good indication. And when I start to work with people, I check and I ask them, well, what do you think? And ask them some just simple question, and they will tell you if they know or not by those indications.
It's a good filter, for sure. Not only the people that you want to do business with, but also the people you want to hire.
Yeah, it's true for any subject. Those are the indication. Does he think that it's simple? Can he predict the result? Can he predict the time? And if any of those missing, you need to know. The guy do not know, and now at least you know. Because there's only one condition that worse than being a blind, and that's to be a blind and to think that you see. So for me as a business owner, it's better for me to know that the guy do not know, so I can do something about it, than to think that he knows, and 3 months or 6 months down the line, after I paid him a lot of money, I realize, well, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what if you look at business, there are different. Most of the people look at and start a business because they're very good in an area, and they've studied that area for a long time. They're a lawyer, they are a carpenter, or a dentist or something. So they're really good at one area. And they started a business, but the business have many more areas than one. Actually, if you look at the business, businesses can have 7 areas or 9 or 21, depends on the structure, yes, or on the size of the business, or which stage the business is in. And because people are good in one area and they didn't learn the other areas, they actually, most business owner make less money than if they would work for someone else, simply because they didn't master all the other areas. And people ask me, what? So I have to be an expert in everything? And I say, yes, at the beginning you do. Especially as long as you are small business, you really, as an owner, you have to know all the parts of the business and you have to know them well. And if you don't, you will fail. There's no question about it.
That's true. If a business owner has one aspect of their business that they're not attending to, then that's going to be the one aspect that's going to bring them down.
Yeah, and the more aspect they don't have, the harder it takes. So if business is difficult, if you feel that things require a lot of effort, if you feel that things do not just flow and things don't happen, you need to know you don't know. And to realize you don't know is the first step in fixing any problem. Because if you think you know, you will not look for the solution. But and usually what people have, they're using excuses instead of actually having the answer for the problem. So they see that they have problem with sales and they say, well, the market is difficult. It's never the market is difficult. It's something to do with you. It's always you. It's always internal. The problems are always 99.999%. The problems are internal. And with this understanding come a kind of a level of responsibility where you cannot blame someone else. If you don't do well, you're doing something bad. It's not an external source that prevent you from doing well. So that's kind of interesting principle.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So basically, when I look at their business, when I look at people, I look at people and I see that people have a lot of potential. People have huge potential. And they know that they have potential. I generally says that people have 600,000 times more potential than what they have result to show for it. So there is a big disconnect between the potential of the person and the actual results. And the reason is they don't actually understand the missing the knowledge, they're missing the actual knowledge in order to utilize their full potential. And sometimes, or most of the time, it's even worse than just missing the knowledge. They have false knowledge, they have false data, they have false idea, and they're operating on those false ideas. So the damage is even worse than not knowing. Because if you don't know, you go and you look. But if you have false ideas, then you think that they're correct, which means I don't need to learn and I don't need to look. But if the results are not there, it means that you need to know any area in your life that you don't have the expected result. It means you're acting on false data, you're acting on false ideas.
What is the way that people can identify real data?
Well, real data is always something that you can use, and when you use it, it brings the expected results. So if you cannot use the data, or if it doesn't bring the expected results, you need to know the data is false. I'll give you an example. People, the Black Plague in Europe killed half of Europe. And they used false data. They say, well, the gods are upset. So if the gods are upset, then they went around with a lot of smoke and a lot of praying. And I'm not against praying, by the way, but in that case, it was not the answer. And they didn't get the expected result. The disease grew and more people die. And then one guy came up with the correct data, which is you're not washing, you're just dirty. And they started to wash, and in 1 year, the problem has been handled.
For business owners, or for a lot of businesses, there's all sorts of false data, like you just have to put your brand out there and your business will grow. And there's a lot of people who are spending a lot of money on that.
Yeah, if it was so simple and it would take only one action, then for sure that you just put the brand out there and the business grow. But and I know, and anyone that has been in business for any length of time knows that it's not just putting your brand out there. It actually takes 182 different actions that you need to do in order to make a business flourish and prosper. So if you want a kind of a major success to your business, or even a little success for your business, you need those actions to happen. 182 actions. And those actions, you need to learn them. They're simple, they're easy to do, but you need to do them. And if you don't know that you need to do them, if they're not organized in a series of steps that tells you, I need to do that, and then that, and then that, you will not do them. And even if you'll do them, you'll not do them in the correct sequence, and you will fail. To one degree or another, you might be even, you might even be viable, but not for a long time. You need to know how to run the business, and you need to understand the different parts of the business, become expert in each one of those parts, and do the 182 actions that have to be done.
So where can business owners go to learn the 182 actions if they want to succeed?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm teaching it, of course, and you can go to guaranteeprosperityint.com and register to my tips, and you will get this information every week. You'll get from me tips and checklists and videos, and you'll get the data. And as you will see that what I'm teaching is valuable, which means bring results when you apply it, you will probably want to come to one of my seminars and learn even more. And the very interesting thing about my seminars, I actually started it only this year, is when a person comes to a seminar, each seminar have a very specific results that you're supposed to get out of the seminar. So the first thing is, you come to the seminar. If you don't feel you got the result, you don't have to pay me. So that's my guarantee. But more important, before you can come to the next seminar, I need to see that you prove to me statistically that you applied the knowledge and you brought an improvement. If you don't show me that, you're not going to come to the next seminar. You can come to the same seminar, get corrected and whatever, but you're not going from seminar A to seminar B before you brought the result of the application of the knowledge in seminar A. This is totally new, different, unusual, but concept. But I know that this is the only way to actually make sure that my clients get the value out of what they paid me to. So even if you think that you got the value and you're telling me, no, I'm happy with what you taught me and I've learned a lot, I would say, thank you. I really like it. So good, you don't want a refund. But before you can come to my next seminar, I need to see the results, and I will help you to bring the results. But you need to show me you actually applied the knowledge.
Well, and that's why the people who are your students love, and adore you.
True, yes, and I love them, and I make sure that they are successful. It's my job, it's my responsibility to make sure that they are successful. If they are not successful, I don't think they failed. I failed. Because the teacher is responsible for the result of the student. Yes, the student have to do some actions, etc., but still, bottom line, if I teach you and you didn't get it, I'm responsible, not you. From my viewpoint, yes?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So it's a different kind of concept. I know that it's unusual, and I'm getting a lot of resistance from the industry because of that concept, because it means that basically I'm changing the industry concept about what is fair and what is not. Because I'm telling them, look, you cannot just take money from people, let them sit in your class and they get no result, and then you invite them to the next seminar and the next seminar. It's just not fair. And the industry generally don't like me because of that, but my student like me, and I'm more interested in my student than in my industry.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, and I've noticed too that in the seminar industry, that other seminar leaders don't necessarily have the real business background that you have.
Yep, that's true. That's very, very true. Most seminar, the people that deliver seminars or lecturers actually know how to talk, but not how to make business. And I can prove that I did lots of business, a lot of successful business and a lot of not successful business, because I had both, but overall much more success than not success. And you need both in order to get the viewpoints. And today I'm in a position, because I know what I know, I can actually guarantee that you need to be a genius to fail once you know the knowledge.
Everybody loves that, don't they?
Yeah. You need. Yeah, once you.
I'm not
really,
smart enough to fail.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to fail. Like, if you're a good driver, you have to be a genius to have an accident. Because if you are a really good driver, you don't just drive your car, you drive all the cars around you. And it's almost impossible for you to have an accident. And that's applied to a business as well. If you're a good businessman, if you know what you're doing, you are successful. If you look at the people that succeed in business, they generally, once they figure it out, they continue to success. And they're being more and more successful. And those people that fail, which is 99.99999% of businessmen, are people that just don't know. They try, they guess, they hope, they pray, they do all kind of things, but they don't know. They cannot tell you, look, it's simple. I can predict the result. I can predict the time it will take. So they are not professional in running the business.
That is true. I remember in one of the seminars or one of the classes that I took that you had showed Apple at the time that Apple was running with the technology and knowledge that you have, and how their growth was and how successful they were. And then the moment that they stopped using that technology and switched to a different methodology, what happened? Mm-hmm. And then the moment that they put your technology back in place.
Yeah. It's very, it's like black and white. You can look at the statistics and you will see people that know, people that use a workable knowledge cannot fail. I mean, it doesn't mean that there's no small dips up and down, but the overall trend is up. And they have so much abundance of success and of money and resources that small dips do not affect them.
I know that there's a lot of small business owners out there that are probably listening to that and thinking, oh, that'd be so wonderful if only. It can be. Yeah. It's so amazing.
It's amazing. And actually, if you think about it, it's much easier than working without knowing. And what we do, we are offering a kind of a solution that says to the business owner, look, you come, I teach you how to do it, you try it. If it doesn't work according to your viewpoint, not according to me, don't pay me. It's fine. You didn't lose anything. Actually, when I consult people, I tell them something even more than that. I'm telling them, if I consult you and you don't bring result, don't pay me, I'll pay you. That's how confident I am in the results. Because if you know, you cannot fail. You have to be a genius to fail. All you have to do is do what I'm telling you and you will be successful.
Meir, thank you so much for bringing this knowledge to people like me.
You're most welcome.
Yeah, it does seem like this sort of knowledge normally would stay behind closed doors. So it's a huge generosity that you've come to share it.
Oh, thank you. And I love sharing it, and I love seeing people successful, and I consider that the only value a man has is in how much he can help. So whenever I see my student succeeding, and when I see them so happy and they expand as families, they expand personally, they expand in their business life, they start to help mankind, they just expand all over, they're happy, and I'm much happier than them. So it's nice.
Yeah, well, everybody is enriched.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's really nice.
In addition to being an amazing business owner and business coach, you also have a wonderful program for families and parents. Will you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's called the Parent Academy. And basically why I'm doing that is because there's a principle that says that if you have a problem, the source of the problem is always before. And you will see that if I look at man life or man as a whole, you can see that you've got man, him, his body, his mind. And just after that, you have the kind of a family and creativity and so on. And then you've got the group. And when you have a problem with the group, the source of the problem is before. So what's come before the group? Family, children, etc. And I realized that if we want people to be successful in businesses, yes, for sure, we need to teach them how to run the businesses. But first of all, we need to teach them about them. We need to get them to find who are they and how the family works. So in the Parent Academy, what we do is we actually getting the person to look at himself and his family. And I'll give you a few examples. This Parent Academy is actually composed of a series of 50 lessons. Each lesson is anything between 1 hour to 2 hours. And I'm doing it voluntarily. I'm not making any money out of it. I'm just helping people. And I'll give you some ideas about what's so unique about this Parent Academy. So first of all, the result is that I have, for example, one student that had a lot of problem with her daughter. And her daughter is 17 years old. She's divorced. And the daughter, she didn't manage, she didn't have a good relationship with the daughter, and the daughter decided to leave to her ex-husband. And they had a big fight, and they left. And she didn't want to talk to the mother, and she didn't want anything to do with the mother. And it was really terrible. And this lady just arrived to the Parent Academy, and I started to give her the tech or the technology on how to handle the family. And the first thing we did is we taught her what's communication is all about, and how communication get messed up, and what do you need to do to fix the communication. And we started to coach her on to how to get into communication with her daughter. And she was doing it for a few weeks, and after a few weeks, she called me in the middle of, I was in a major meeting, nothing to do with coaching. I was just doing a business, and I was trying to sign a big deal with another company, like a multi-million-dollar deal. And I get this text and another text, call me urgently. So I'm calling her. I left the meeting, and I went and I called her, and I said, hey, what's going on? And she said, my daughter answered, and she said that if I write one more text to her, she will go to the police and put charges against me on, I'm harassing her. And I said, that's amazing, that's beautiful, that's unbelievable. And she said, what do you mean it's unbelievable? She's going to take me to the police. Are you crazy? And I said, no, I'm not crazy. Up to now, she didn't communicate. Now she started to communicate. It's good. So I coached her on how to communicate further. And it took another month, and the daughter agreed to meet with her. And today, where I am in the Dead Sea, we had a kind of a meeting with the Parent Academy in Israel that we're doing. And I met this lady, and she has the best relationship with her daughter. We recovered the marriage. The husband and the wife are back together. And the daughter actually is one of our teachers now in the Parent Academy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's just it's so unbelievable. And it's not, we've done, in Israel, we took about 1 million people through this program. And in the US, we just started about, I think, a month and a half ago, something like that. And we took about 50 people through 4 lessons. And from those 4 lessons, the success stories are just unbelievable, life-changing. And it immediately rubs onto the business. You handle the family, you handle the individual, and like a magic, the business become not an issue.
Well, and if you do enough of that, then society becomes not an issue. And conflict between countries becomes not an issue. It's just so many miracles that can come.
The ripple effect.
Yes.
The ripple effect is amazing. And the things that we teach are so powerful. I'll give you an example. I'll give you a simple example on what we teach. So, for example, one of the things that parents have with their children is children don't listen. You know, you tell them, I want you to go to take your shower at night, and you need to nag them for an hour. And eventually, after an hour, they do a favor to you and they go to the shower. And then you ask them to go out of the shower, and you need to nag them for 2 hours to get out of the shower. So it's like you cannot win kind of thing. And you tell them to not be connected to the screen all day long. And they just been hypnotized by those screens. They sit in front of the TV, computer, iPad, etc. And it's a major problem. It's a major problem for parents. It's a major problem for the kids. They are not in communication, and it's a problem. We give them the exact tools. They do what we tell them in one lesson, and the next week when they come to the next lesson, part of the application is to actually prove. They have to show me that they apply, that they have homework, and they show me that actually those problem has been handled. And there's an exact reason why children don't listen to their parents. And if you don't know this exact reason, you can do all kind of things and nothing will happen. Because if you use the wrong why to solve a problem, if you don't find the root cause of the problem will not just stay there. The problem will grow. And that's what happened with kids. The problem grows and grows and grows because parents never got a manual on how to be a parent. No one gave you a manual on how to be a parent. What we do, we give the parents a manual on how to be a parent. We're covering every possible situation, every possible scenario in a relationship between parents and the children. And the results are just amazing.
Miracles.
It is. It's just miracles, and it's not an overstatement to say that it's miracles, but once you understand it, you see it's simple, you can predict the result, and you can predict how long it takes.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really simple.
So, Meir, for people who want to get in touch with you, should they go to Guaranteed Prosperity, INT, and I'll put a link on my show notes. How do people get in touch with you for Parents Academy?
For Parents Academy, what they need to do, they need to actually contact Lisa. So Lisa at guaranteedprosperityint.com, and she will get them to register, and just send her an email. And if you want to talk to me directly, if you have any questions, if you need advice, if you need anything, if you need any kind of help, you can you can email me directly, and it's mair@guaranteedprosperityint.com, and I always answer.
Wonderful. And I'll put the link also on the website so people can find you.
Thank you.
Meir, thank you so much for being on the podcast. It's such an honor to have you here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very, very, very much. And you know that I love you and I admire what you're doing. And yes, it's just an honor being on that podcast. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Meir.
Thank you.